My name is Melanie Toribio, and I'm a success coach for the UCF Online Connect Center. I'm joined today by UCF Online student Joshua Thompson, and we're going to dive into a bit of conversation about what it's like to be a UCF Online Knight. So let's get started.
Thank
So
you for
Joshua,
having me.
yeah, of course. So could you start by telling me a little bit about yourself, your name, where you're located, your program, and your graduating class?
Yeah, so my name is Joshua Thompson. I was actually born and raised in Orlando, so UCF was always going to be my number one choice. My major was health service administration, and I worked closely with Jennifer with my time with UCF.
Excellent. And what drove you to want to complete a bachelor's degree?
I always wanted to go to medical school and become a doctor, but aside from just learning the clinical aspect of medicine, I also wanted to learn the administrative side of medicine because I hope to one day maybe try to change some policies and create a better system that works for our healthcare system so we can improve it and be more up to date with other countries such as like the United Kingdom or Canada. I just want to improve our healthcare system and the way that we practice medicine here in the United States.
Excellent, and such a relevant topic today. But why did you choose online learning as your preferred method for degree completion?
Well, I had to work full time in order to support myself, and I had to have a job. So UCF Online was perfect for me because it was very flexible, and it worked really well with my schedule. I was able to work full time like usual, but I was also able to complete all the courses I needed on time to graduate with UCF.
Excellent. So it offered a lot more flexibility than the face-to-face classes.
Exactly.
What has your experience with your online classes been like so far?
The experience has been amazing. All my teachers were very helpful. They were anytime I had a question or if I was a bit confused for anything, they were always able to respond back immediately. Uh, Aside from that, there's a lot of features on the online course, such as like the calendar feature, where if you have any assignments or if you don't know when things are due, it tells you exactly when things are due. And that was probably the most helpful for me. I never missed any assignment because of that feature. There's just a bunch of ways to always keep in communication with your professors. So although you can't see them face to face, you can always call them, you can email them. Sometimes they'll even Skype with you if necessary. So it didn't really seem like a difference from an in-campus situation for me.
Yeah, and those are all really helpful tools that you were able to utilize through Canvas. What are some additional tips that you'd like to share or give to anyone who's currently learning online?
Some recommendations I have is to always just reach out to a professor if you have any questions or anything. They are there to help you. They want to see you succeed. So as long as you reach out to them and utilize that resource, you will do as well as you want to do. As I mentioned before, just try to use that calendar feature because it always will just keep you up to date with all your assignments. So you'll never miss an assignment or you'll never wait to the last minute to try to complete assignment. It tells you your entire semester of assignments. So you can even work ahead if you would like. And that was probably like the greatest feature for me that contributed to my success with the UCF.
Yeah, I'm sure, especially with online classes where you are given a lot more flexibility, self-discipline, time management, those are all really important things that factor into your success as a student. Do you have any advice for students applying to UCF Online?
Yeah, I would definitely say is figure out the best schedule for you and then just pick classes according to that. So if you know that you work all day and maybe you only have a couple hours after work, I wouldn't choose maybe like 4 or 5 classes, maybe just choose 1 or 2 classes just to see if you can do that because it takes a lot of self-discipline for online learning. It's not like you go to class and the teacher tells you you need to do this on this day. You have to take it upon yourself to really want to do the work. And so definitely just create a schedule for yourself And as I mentioned before, definitely if you have any questions or any concerns, just try to reach out to an advisor or a teacher so that they can help you succeed, because we all want to see your success.
Excellent. It's good to ease your way into things rather than overload yourself and not having enough time to manage all of the different commitments. Now, we're going to shift into some more questions regarding your relationship with your success coach.
Okay.
So, what were your initial thoughts on coaching?
I That is a great question. I was never used to coaching. I know that you have an academic advisor where you can reach out to them if you had any questions. So for me, having a coach was almost like having two academic advisors, because if academically I could reach out to my advisor, but if I had any questions about the program or any questions about anything in general, Jennifer, my coach, was always really there for me. She always emailed me. She always called. We made monthly meetings just to discuss where I was, my future goals, if classes were going as expected. So I thought coaching was really good, because Jennifer always checked in on me, and she just wanted to make sure that everything was going as well as I hoped. And fortunately, it did go well.
Awesome. Yeah. So, it's that additional layer of support. Um, Great. And what how do you feel that the relationship with Jennifer, with your success coach, has impacted your experience here at UCF?
I personally think that my relationship with Jennifer, since we worked together, that it really improved my my coursework with UCF, because I felt that Jennifer also kind of kept me accountable for all the decisions that I made. If I ever had any questions as far as like maybe even graduate school, which I did get accepted to, Jennifer would like help me. She would say like, "Oh, try to find funding," or like, "What are the criteria?" So Jennifer was definitely a huge support system for me as I maneuvered through the courses at UCF.
That's amazing, Josh, and congratulations. Are you going
Thank
to be
you.
starting in the fall?
Yes, with LSU.
Excellent. That's amazing. And could you tell me about a time when Jennifer influenced your ability to overcome an obstacle?
Yes, actually, it was this semester. Um, it was probably around January where I was preparing to take for the GRE to get into a graduate school, and so there were many questions that I didn't understand about that process. And because Jennifer had went to grad school herself, she definitely helped me with that. She was telling me about how to like sign up for the GRE and send it to the different schools, because there were different schools that I or had applied to and I was interested in. And Jennifer also was, like we talked about, she was telling me about funding, because she said that's important. You can find funding ways. And so definitely just the process of post UCF, Jennifer was very, very helpful. She sent me different links and different emails to definitely help support my dreams of getting into graduate school. So I'm very grateful for her for
That's
that.
amazing. Sounds like she was a big support system throughout your experience here at UCF and now applying to grad school. So that's
Mhm.
amazing. How would you feel that coaching has impacted your personal or professional development? Has it helped you to adapt your style in any way as a student?
Yes, I think it's helped me adapt, because um, Jennifer, she was a form of a mentor in a way, because like we discussed, if I had any questions or if I just didn't understand, maybe even not about grad school, but just about my current courses that I was taking, Jennifer definitely went above and beyond to help me. She was just constantly sending me emails or calling just to make sure that I understood anything. And Jennifer always asked, she's like, "Do you have any questions, or is there anything I can help clear up for you?" And that was definitely a big relief, because sometimes we don't know what's going on or we don't understand, especially if you're transitioning into the online system for the first time. And so she definitely made the transition very easy for me. And it definitely changed the way that I look at online courses.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much for joining me in this conversation today and for being a part of UCF and for representing UCF Online so well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.